Hello everyone, I'm Miss Salma Shabbar and I'm a presenter at SoMR. Today, I want to discuss the abstract of a research paper. So before we begin, let's ask ourselves what exactly is an abstract. An abstract is a short summary of a dissertation or a research paper. It basically just summarizes the aims and the outcomes of the research. It is like the face of the paper, and it is the first thing that the reader comes across before he decides to read the paper. The abstract, therefore, must be written in a simple way so that anyone can understand what the paper is about. It is usually around 150 to 300 words since it is a short summary of the research work. So, why exactly do we write an abstract? Well, since it is a short summary, it helps the reader decide if they should even read your paper. Since a research paper may take around 5 to 6 hours, an abstract is read before the research paper, and it takes you around 15 to 20 minutes to read an abstract. The abstract of an article is the only part of a paper that is published in conference proceedings, and it is the only part of a paper that a potential referee sees when he is invited by an editor to review the manuscript. Moreover, the abstract is the only part of the paper that readers see when they search through electronic databases such as PubMed. Thus, for the vast majority of readers, the paper does not even exist beyond the abstract. Therefore, the abstract sets the tone for the rest of the paper, and it is the duty of the author to ensure that the abstract is a proper representative of the entire paper. So, to sum up, it provides two main functions. It helps the potential reader determine the relevance of your paper for their own research, and two, it helps communicate your key findings to those who don't have time to read the whole paper. Logically, once you have all of your information together, then can you summarize it into an abstract. So you'll start off with your objectives, then you'll summarize your methods, you'll write down your results, and then draw out your conclusions. So, how exactly do you start writing it? So, the first step to writing it is to take your research paper and remove all the extra information. And you must leave the stuff that is the most important for your research. Now, take those remaining sentences and link those using connectors. And then you can organize these sentences according to the basic study, design, purpose, methodology, major findings, summary, interpretations, conclusions, and then followed by the implications. Make sure that there is consistency in the information between your abstract and your paper. There shouldn't be any new information in the abstract that has not been mentioned in the paper. The conclusions stated in your abstract should also match the conclusions in your research paper. There are a couple of do nots of writing an abstract. Firstly, as I mentioned a while ago, there should be no new information that is not present in the paper. Any abbreviations that you use in your abstract, they should be explained. You do not want to include any sort of citations in your abstract and avoid any sort of unnecessary details about the methods used. Lastly, also avoid using any sort of images, illustration, figures, or tables. However, you may include those if your abstract is an extended one. So make sure you check with your journal's requirements before you write your abstract. Here is an example of an abstract. Notice how it has been divided into the background, methods, results, and conclusions section. Also notice how in the results section statistics have been used to code the data and how accurately and how concisely all of this has been included. Also, also notice how there's been an easy use of language and how there's a constant connection between the background, the methods, the results, and the conclusion sections. I hope this helped you out in your work for writing an abstract, and I hope you're now confident enough to write it yourself. Thank you.